Hey YouTube, welcome back. My name's Carl. On the last episode, installed a CMC Trigger into an Aero Precision AR Lower. This one right here. In that episode, I told you that I was going to get some Strike Industries hardware to finish off my build. Well, my hardware came in, and instead of doing the standard kind of install how-to type of video, I'm just going to give you an overview of the parts. I'm going to put them in, and then I'm going to show them to you as they're installed. So that being said, I'm going to show you what we got. We got the Strike Industries strike switch, which is an ambidextrous safety in black, of course. A set of their ultralight pivot takedown pins in black also. Their strike magazine catch, also in black, has an extended button. And then the Strike Industries enhanced bolt catch, also in black. There's a theme here. And also, after that, we're going to install this Hogue Grip. Now, I have a grip like this on my 1911. I haven't used the AR version yet, but on the 1911 I really like it. And then I know some people are going to say they don't like Strike Industries, or they don't like this, or they don't like that. The great thing about AR parts is just like Jeeps and Harleys. Somebody makes something for everybody, and you can go out there and choose what you want to put on your AR. So with that being said, let's head on over to the table and get started. So I have the parts laid out in the order that I'll be installing them into this receiver. We have the strike switch safety, followed up with the spring and detent to hold the safety. We're going to install the grip, then the grip screw. Then we'll install the magazine catch, the pivot takedown pins, followed up by the bolt catch. Alright, now before we go ahead and get the grip installed with the spring and the detent, we're going to go ahead and test the screw to make sure that the hole is clear and that the screw goes in easily. This is a good thing to try before you try to put the grip on and end up finding out that something's wrong and the screw will not go in. Do not force the screw in the hole. Do not try to tighten it down if it won't go, because it could be cross-threaded, or the Cerakote might be too thick and it might not go, and you'll end up breaking the screw off inside of here. You want to know how I know that? Because that's what I did previously. See that right there? I broke the screw off. I've been trying to get it out, and I did a really good job on breaking that screw. But now we have this lower, and the screw seems to be going in just fine, so we should have no issues putting on the grip and getting things ready to go. So there you go. We have the grip installed with the spring and the detent in here, and now the safety activates. There it is, ready to fire, and there is safe. So like safe, we can pull the trigger, see? It won't fire. Now if we move it to fire, we can pull the trigger and it's ready to rock and roll. Alright. So what we're going to do now is install the magazine catch, which then we'll install, after that, we'll install the takedown pins and then the bolt catch. So now we have the magazine release button installed. And this one is an extended magazine release, so see the button sticks out kind of far, so that's so you can get your finger on it when you need to. So just to show you how it works, we'll put the magazine in. See, now it's locked into place, and then to release you just push the button and pull the mag out. It's that simple. So now that we got that done, now we're going to install the takedown pins. So here's a little trick that I've found on the internet for installing the front takedown pin or pivot pin, is getting a 1/4 inch clevis pin from like Lowe's, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, wherever. And what that does is you simply just slide it in the hole, and it has these holes in it to where you can line it up with the hole for the spring and the detent. And once you put those in, then you can take your your pin and slide it in like that, and boom, That way you don't lose the spring and the detent goes flying. So now that I showed you that little trick, I'm going to use it myself and install the pins. So we went ahead and we have the pivot pin installed, the rear takedown pin, the end plate, castle nut, and buffer tube, which are needed to be installed in order to make this pin stay in here, because there's a spring and a detent inside the receiver here that's held in place by the end plate, which then is held in place by the castle nut, but you can't install that without the buffer tube. And while installing the buffer tube, we installed the buffer retainer spring and the buffer retainer. So now we'll go ahead and install the bolt catch, and then we'll be ready to put the upper on and take this out to the range. So there we have the bolt catch is installed, and now the only thing left to do is put the stock on and mount up the upper, and then we're ready to go out and see how this thing does. So there you have it, folks, a complete rifle. Now we're ready to take this out to the range. Well, actually we're not ready, because I forgot one thing to tell you to install when you put the rifle together. We forgot to install the buffer spring and the buffer inside the buffer tube. So now that we have the buffer and buffer spring installed, now this is ready to go out to the range and give it a few rounds and see how it does. And for this build, I went ahead and went with the 223 Wylde barrel and upper from Bear Creek Arsenal. It's a side charger. So instead of your standard charging handle pullback, we have a side charger. Now, I know some people probably badmouth Bear Creek and everything, but you know, I happen to like it. It does fine for what I'm using it for. It's not really for defense purposes. It's just for, you know, going out and throwing some lead down range. So with that being said, see you guys next time.